Baroque times. You can see in this picture how the dress of the girls went poofy. And look at the man's wig. Everything became very decorated. That's Baroque times. They decorated everything so much, and they use a lot of gold. Let me show you, this is an organ in a church. This is the organ, but look at all the gold decorations. Do you see how they decorated everything around it with, and that's real gold. And look how decorated everything is. That's Baroque times. Baroque times is when everything became super fancy, and man, oh, look at this guy, how fancy he is. Ooh, that's how they thought they were so cool and so fancy. And then they started wearing their wigs. And here is Johann Sebastian Bach. He is the most important composer of the Baroque times. And not just from Baroque times, even today, his music is so good. Everybody loves his music. Now let me tell you how different, not just the dresses of the girls look, but the music. This is music from Renaissance times. You can tell it's kind of simple, right? They're simple melodies. I mean, I don't even read those little squares, but that was Renaissance music. Now, look at Baroque music. This is how Johann Sebastian Bach's music looked like. This is a piece of his actual writing. That looks very hard, right? That looks very difficult and very, decorated. Even the music is very rich, very decorated. So that's Johann Sebastian Bach. And we will talk a lot about Bach, but let me tell you something amazing about him. Johann Sebastian Bach had a wife, and they had some children. And then that wife died, and he married again, and he had more children with the second wife. So how many children do you think he got total? How many children do you think Johann Sebastian Bach had? 20. He had 20 children. Can you imagine a house with 20 children? It's like a whole school. But he had 7 children with the first wife. Then the first wife died. He got married again. And the second wife had 13 children. Now, in those times, not everybody lived. Only 10 children of those 20 reached to be adults, reached to be grown-ups. And everybody in the Bach family, everybody was a musician. So if you were born in the Bach family, nobody asked you, what do you want to be when you grow up? You were a musician. That's what everybody did. So imagine in the household of Johann Sebastian Bach, everybody would play music and they would have a whole orchestra right there in their house. So Johann Sebastian Bach. Now, the music that we do, the rondo, he made up that music. Johann Sebastian Bach made up that beautiful music. He made really beautiful music, and that's the one that we will act out with our streamers. And you can hear Johann Sebastian Bach's idea. He had an idea of a pattern. Da 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 da, da 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 da, taka 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 taka, da 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 da, da 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 da, taka taka da 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 da. So he had that idea of a pattern, and then he does something different. But then he comes back to his main idea, then something different. Then again, his main idea, then something different. That's why that music is called rondo. And now we will move it with our streamers.